You know whose birthdays it is?
Guys.
Casey's was last week.
It was my birthday.
It was
Yeah.
your birthday.
It was.
Yeah.
I get all
Yeah.
the attention because that it was my birthday.
Yeah, and that's
That's
it.
good shit.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. Nothing's happening this
That's
weekend.
Woo! Woo!
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
I'm so happy. So what are we going to talk about? Oh, yeah.
All right. This every time we've recorded now, you drop that show. You're like, oh yeah, no, here we go. We're doing a thing. But let's dwell on the birthday thing really quick. First.
Okay. Casey, how'd it go?
Yeah.
We went to Meow Wolf.
Yeah, we went to Meow Wolf. That was pretty cool.
How was that?
It was
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was awesome. Once
That's fucking sick. I wanted to make it, but the fucking tickets were sold out. I did the same thing. I ran into the same problem where I'm like, oh well, surely they won't be sold out now, and it's like, no,
Gotta do
they
weekend.
sell out at the weirdest times. But no, that was awesome.
sick. Because we got that interdimensional station one, right? That's the whole
convergence
stick.
station.
Yeah, that's tight. The platform 9.5, 3/4 or whatever.
What? No.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's got the Harry Potter in there too.
yeah.
Maybe somewhere there's a reference, I'm sure.
There has to be if it's a magic train.
I don't feel like there
station.
was. I think everything would be anti that, but
Yeah.
maybe
I
somewhere.
don't think there was any reference.
No, I don't
But
think so.
but
Maybe
yeah,
subtle.
it was a good birthday. It's good to have a birthday.
Yeah.
That,
Be
you know-
recognized.
yeah,
It's good to
that-
be recognized.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Look, I don't fucking give a shit. I'm the
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Fuck your birthday.
Whoa. suddenly you don't care about my birthday, Jimmy?
No,
Yeah.
I
Wow.
care.
You know
I
what? Yeah, you're
care.
right. Screw your birthday.
I fucking care,
Yeah,
dude.
you know,
God damn.
I guess just whenever your birthday is, when is it? Yeah, I mean, it's probably a while from now, but
Because we would remember.
Years. It's
yeah,
years from now.
we would remember.
We would
yeah.
remember.
I have your birthdays in my calendar and everything. I'm trying to. I feel so. Oh.
When Facebook went down.
Big
what went down?
reveal.
No,
Big reveal.
Yeah. What?
Incoming. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go
this
ahead.
weekend, it is Jimmy's
Yeah,
birthday.
it is my birthday this weekend at
Yeah.
an indeterminate date. One of the three days.
He
You
gets
know
all
what?
three
If
of
you
them.
say your social
I
security,
didn't
that'd
hear
be all
any
they
applause
need.
for that one.
I saw you guess on the button, dude.
I saw that too. It's, you never
don't-
know. You
I
never
don't
what
know
you're
the
gonna
buttons.
Get out of this special
I don't
effects
know.
panel. Never label them. It's way more
Yeah,
fun.
no.
They have a
than being
special thing you
unlabeled.
can label with, but I don't know what the point of that would be.
No, I was gonna say that it's like I never really like. I don't know. I feel like I want to do more for people's birthdays and my own birthday and shit. But the older you get, the harder it is to like.
Care.
You know, well,
Yeah.
it's like it's ill to care, but it's like literally a week out, and I'm like, I didn't think of anything to do. What's going on that night? Oh, that's going on. Well, I'll be here if anybody wants to
Dude,
go. You
I
know
think
what
if
mean?
you
Like,
spend time on like making a birthday a big thing, I think you're just a really, really lonely person.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember your fucking
Oh, what?
the birthday that the party you threw for me at your House of Black.
That sounds like
place
some
is probably
weird
the,
dude
Yeah.
would do.
That was one of
For
Who would
the,
care
anyone
about
to be
those?
saying that, you throw the most exorbitant parties for anyone.
the most
know
memorable
what
at the
you
very
mean.
least.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's weird to care about birthdays. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely just weird.
Yeah. All right.
Anyone should care.
I only have the one. I'm trying to do.
But you've
better
had
at that,
you've
you
had
know?
many others.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, why we've brought up the birthday, it's time to go into the origin story.
Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned
Of
that
the
on
birthday.
Discord.
Yeah, and then you just said, "Don't call me again," and I was like, "All right."
What was the
How
first?
do you keep getting this number? How
What
do
was
you keep
the
getting
first
this channel?
birthday that you had that like? Well, well, I guess
Sorry.
The birthday
maybe-
I had, well, I was shooting out my mother's womb.
No, yeah,
I was like, you know how you
Not
fold
that
your arms
first
and
birthday.
legs, so like you're going down a water slide? I was like that.
I'm talking in relation to RPGs, like maybe once you got after them, or once you got something,
like running a game for my
yeah,
birthday?
or like getting a book for a system or anything
oh,
like that.
shit. I got to think about that,
Well, yeah,
actually.
because I was wondering, like, we talked about the college thing, but I didn't ever really know before that. And you said you said last time or some time ago a little bit about how you started, but I thought like because all I heard was you doing like college D&D. I never remember you talking about ever before.
Yeah, and if we're gonna talk about D&D, let's go proto that. What themes
Oh, my God.
got you into got you into fantasy.
Did you just give
stuff.
this episode a format?
I did.
Yeah.
Does this episode have a format?
Yeah, I have it written down.
It's all
right
in these
here.
cards.
It's
Oh, wow.
You see these cards?
birthday roast. Ignore Jimmy's saddened look. Then
the puppy
reaffirm
dog eyes.
birthday. Then give him recognition of the birthday, but only to then pull it into an origin story.
Then pull it
filled
right
with
into the
these-
topic of the podcast.
With these interview questions. We're on the second one
How
already.
dare you fucking keep us on topic?
Hey, someone's got
About
to be.
what this podcast is supposed
Someone's
to be
gotta-
about. Someone's got to be what? What?
Someone's got to be.
Oh, well,
Go ahead.
all right. I guess to answer the question, I don't fucking remember.
Wow.
That's
Well, that's enlightening.
so. I think I mentioned before that it's like my dad gave me his Advanced Dungeons and Dragons books. I read a ton of them. I got into D&D through that, and then I like through AD&D, and I was like, this shit's cool. I got the most current stuff. I got 3rd edition stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't really start playing with other people until 4th edition. I was just trying to stay current, and I was making worlds, making dungeons, reading all this stuff. But it was all a very solitary exercise until
Sure.
around like middle school, high school.
Yeah,
When I
yeah.
did like the RPG club at high school, 4th edition, ran stuff at lunch. Then high school and college just all snowballed from there. I'm trying to remember specifically. I know I've gotten something RPG related for a birthday.
No.
No?
No, I said yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
No, yeah.
I mean, I know, like, we've, like, you guys and all, I mean, I definitely know recently I've gotten RPG stuff for my birthday, but I'm trying to remember, like, what the earliest instance of that was. I'm sure it was something, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it was.
Huh.
The only birthday D&Ds I've had is either Casey pissing me off or me pissing off Casey knowing.
Has
'Cause
that been the
the
track record?
Yeah,
that the
because it's the
tower?
vampire you stabbed when he missed away,
Yeah, that was great.
and then I killed Jellyjaw.
Oh yeah,
Those were both birthdays.
yeah. You killed.
What a-
Yeah, you killed Jelly Job.
Was
Yeah.
the tower a birthday?
no.
The
Was
Tower?
the watchtower a
No.
birthday?
No,
Tower
that was a
wasn't.
regular
That's
fucking
just a regular weekend.
dumbass Monday night where he had
I
to
think-
bring that shit in.
Top 5 fights that have happened within this group, that's absolutely one of
The
them.
tower.
The tower.
I didn't fight
wasn't
him.
there for that, but I remember.
I just
remember
seethed.
hearing about it.
I just seethe. I don't fight him on much.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
seethe later.
Yeah, seethe. Yeah.
Yeah. I let it go, but yeah, at the time I'm just like, what the hell, man?
I think for the most part we're out of our seethe phase. I do remember.
Oh, but there's
like-
one time you did like get really angry at me and I left
Oh yeah.
in the end. Remember?
I don't.
I don't remember what
I mean,
it was about.
I remember it in general.
I remember being
I remember your
right.
silhouette like walking away and me going, that bastard.
I remember being right about it,
I hope you never so-
and
You
then
want to be?
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
That's strange.
you were mad about something, and I was like,
That's strange.
"This is on you, dude." And I left, and you apologized later.
Huh.
It was
Oh.
you. You
That's
were
a
like
pretty
mad
good
about something, so I was
resolution.
like, "Peace, all right. I
Wow.
guess you're mad about this."
I think where a lot of that came from, because I remember a stretch of time where there was a lot of there wasn't like a lot like fighting all the
Passion.
time, but there were a number of them. There were a number of like I think that was around the time when we were literally, from my perspective, multiple times a week I'd drive out to the middle of bumfuck nowhere where there was like nobody but you guys, and then play games for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
there was a stretch of time that we did nothing but like fucking role play together.
Yeah.
And that I think was
Yeah.
the time when we had the most contention between all of us, because that was all we were
Yeah,
fucking
because you
doing.
guys were playing board games on a different day, but I only was playing Jimmy when we role played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I
was
think we
back
did
when
anything together
Sunday
for a while.
was a board game thing. I remember. Yeah, I think we took a break.
But birthday
You
thing
know?
was the only thing I think separately, because everything else was the role play stuff.
Yeah.
Because that was super early on. I think I only knew for like a year.
What's
I
the
think so.
So
yeah.
what's the first fantasy film you remember seeing?
Ralph Bakshi's Wizards.
Really?
It's
That was
probably
your
the very
first
one. Okay. Lord of the Rings is probably the first one that I remember seeing, and those movies still hold up. They still kick ass. But Ralph Bakshi's Wizards, I saw that when I was like fucking what, like 7, 8.
Wow, nice.
Which, I
that's
mean-
the one I missed for
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. Well, you're not missing much.
Yeah.
It's. I'm glad I saw it when I was young because I was too dumb to understand that the plot was a complete fucking train wreck and just enjoyed like the big tittied fairy ladies and all that shit.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that movie's like rated G. That movie was appropriate for my age, but you watch it nowadays, and you're like, this is the 70s G, which is like towing the line of PG-13.
Yeah.
I don't think throwing all the swastikas on screen probably didn't help either.
Yeah.
Including literal like Nazi propaganda in the movie is really interesting.
Well, I like Ralph Bakshi's. I like his old shitty movies.
Oh, it's tight.
It's the
It's
best.
fucking tight. It's aesthetic as hell. It's just really intense. Those cartoons are very intense, and most of his cartoons are adult cartoons, like Fritz the Cat and shit like that. It's like kids shouldn't be watching that shit anyway. But I remember Wizards just being like, "Oh yeah, Bakshi made a kids movie," and it's like that was a very intense experience even as a kid. So that me and my sister, that movie's like burned into our psyches. I think even more so than like as a family, we watched Lord of the Rings like all the fucking time. But like that's the first movie I remember leaving a distinct impression on me. If that makes sense.
Does that make sense to you,
Does
Matt?
that make sense?
Watching a movie
Looking
made
at
an
you.
impression. What wouldn't make sense?
I don't know. What about you?
What wouldn't make
what
sense?
about you, Matt?
What about you? Well,
You know what?
I wanted to go around the table with the birthday thing, but I guess we're
Uh-oh.
gonna do the fantasy movie thing first because we're
Fantasy
here.
movie?
Yeah, first fantasy movie.
I didn't know we'd make the birthday the
Well, no, I'm
lining topic.
I feel
but
like there's
all right.
more there. I feel like
did,
there's
yeah.
more to dig up there.
Fantasy?
Yeah, first fantasy movie.
I don't know if I don't remember like it's something I watched all the way through. But I mean Conan was kind of always in the
Oh
background.
hell yeah!
But I never watched it like all the way through very much. At least I don't remember.
Yeah.
But Conan was always there.
That's a long fucking movie too. Like it's not long, but they get a lot fucking done in that movie.
I think it's mostly just
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger at the time was just everywhere.
yeah.
But I think Conan mostly.
That's a good first. That movie kicks
But
ass.
I don't remember watching the whole thing. But I do remember a lot of parts. I mean, just with the sword and then, like that, and then
There are parts that that slow down in that movie for sure. I can see being like it's interesting because a lot of those formative. I feel like when you see a lot of those formative fantasy things when you're young and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get into RPGs and stuff like that. Like Conan, whereas Wizards is like, holy shit, that was so intense. Conan is one of those things that I can think of parts in my head where as a kid, if I watched it that young, I'd be like, fuck this. This sucks. This is
Oh,
so
really?
boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, can we fight now? Like, where?
oh
where,
really?
You know what I mean?
No, I think I would have enjoyed it.
The movie's well paced, but like for a kid, I don't know.
No, I loved it because I grew up watching like that, Lady Hawk, which is another fantasy.
Yeah.
That's a very slow tale, but with so much good character. And Legend.
Legends kick ass.
That one. There's not a whole lot of major action happening. It's a lot of characterization and like them moving and doing subtle quests and stuff. While you just
Yeah.
keep getting frames of the real big bad guy.
That's true.
And Legend.
Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal. I did not like Dark Crystal.
You didn't like Dark Crystal?
That's the one as a kid I could not looking at the VHS cover. I hid that thing away.
Oh, it's intense. The way it looks.
Not
is
talking
like,
about Dark Crystal content wise. I'm talking about the impression when you're 7 years old and you see the frickin' wrinkled puppet on the front cover looking at you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want nothing to do with that.
Shit is way different when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Like that shit hits different when you're a kid. Yeah.
Now, it's super cool.
Dark Crystals. I haven't watched it wasn't a new movie or a TV
It was
show
a whole
or something?
series.
I
series.
haven't watched it.
I don't think it finished. I think it cut off.
Yeah.
Really?
I thought I heard it cut off. Yeah.
Oh. I need
There's
to
a lot
see
of
it.
shows that don't go anywhere because they just stop it.
Yeah.
They're like, no funding, bye.
I feel like that's why if you're ever going to make a TV show, you got to make sure every season, if it ended, it's fine. You know, you wish
I don't
it could
even know
keep
if
going,
it got
but,
to that
like,
point. That's what was weird about it.
That's bizarre.
It probably did, but
I think it did. I think it had at least the one. Because it's not like they usually, especially because I think it was like a Netflix thing. So I don't think they would have cut it off. They would have just released the whole season and then just decided not to make another one.
we said this before, but the animated Hobbit.
Yep.
Bakshi's
That
Hobbit.
might even
Hobbit.
be
Well,
that might be the
Animated
actual
Hobbit.
thing that I would start with.
That
Animated
wasn't
Hobbit.
That wasn't Bakshi, right?
I don't think
Bakshi did the
I don't
Lord of the
think
Rings.
it was necessarily.
Bakshi did Lord of the Rings. I think the animated Hobbit's different.
It's
But
the
that is
weird,
good.
grossly looking.
Yes, it looks like a fucking
It's
Potato people.
Lisa Frank notebook.
it's
Yeah.
dark, very dark
It's
looking.
Rankin Bass.
Yes. Okay. Yep. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that movie kicks ass. It's weird looking, but
that
it kicks
probably
ass.
was like actual when I watched over and over. Weird as hell.
Yeah, it is weird as hell. I liked Bakshi's Lord of the Rings. All right. I mean, I watched that much later. I didn't watch that when I was young. So nowadays, like, yeah, it's okay. I'm actually pretty excited for the Amazon series because from the teasers and stuff, it looks like they're adapting stories from the Silmarillion.
That makes
Sil-
sense.
yeah.
Just get off the other stuff for now.
Similarian.
Silly Marillion.
Silly Maroon.
Silly Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So then that it was just that, and then college, nothing in between.
Well, like I said, like it kind of ramped
So
up.
you had groups before?
Yeah.
Was
Before
Bionicles
college.
ever a formative part?
No.
Okay.
I never really got
Wow.
Bionicles. Yeah.
Wow.
Is that just you? Who-
I like
who's that?
Bionicles.
Yeah. No, they're
Yeah.
cool. I
Bionicles.
just never got into them.
I remember the
Beyblades.
Chosen one, yeah.
Loved me some Beyblades.
Dude, like
Not into Beyblades.
role-playing games have been a part of my life since as long as I can remember. But like each tier of school is kind of what got me more and more into it. I wouldn't say I really started like playing with a consistent group and knowing what I was doing and writing stuff and dealing with all this, learning how to play. I'd say like high school. That's probably
So you had
really
it in middle
kicked
school?
off.
Because I didn't have it in middle school.
I played with some people. I don't remember doing anything in middle school, but I feel like I did, and I feel like it would have been one-offs that never went anywhere with some friends or whatever. High school was really where it held. But I was fucking around with all that shit. Like by the time I was in like high school, like I already owned like half the fucking 4th edition books.
Oh,
I
wow.
sold my 4th edition. I had almost all of the 4th edition books. I
That's
feel
a
so
lot of
bad.
books.
That's
It's
the
a
most out
fuckload
of
of
most
books.
games.
Yeah, and I feel so bad that I ended up selling them all. I was such a fucking idiot. And I think I did get a lot of those for birthdays.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what happened. Now I'm
I remember that too. It's always just like, what do you want for your birthday? There's like 2 or 3 new books out. I don't know which ones.
It's easy. It's so easy. I have such a hard time with gifts. I think that's probably why I have a hard time with birthdays. I have
Yeah.
a hard time with gifts because if I usually am pretty self-sufficient in terms of like what I feel like I need or want. So when it comes to like, oh, what do you want? It's like I don't have a fucking answer. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you know, I don't really think about that. And I don't think about gifts for other people either unless it's like I'm walking somewhere, I'm just and I see something and I'm like, that immediately made me think of that person, I'm going to get it for him.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it'll just be me agonizing and spiraling over like, oh my God. So I don't know. It's weird. I'm weird.
I mean, that makes sense. A lot of people do that when they find something someone else likes. Then you're still thinking about them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now, I think that's why with birthdays, I like to do shit with people more.
Yeah.
Like I just like to have an excuse to like see a bunch of people, even if it's not a big like specific event or whatever. It's just like that's cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
yeah.
looking back, you can't remember all the shit that you were given as a kid on your birthdays, but you can probably remember the big events that you like did. Back
I can
then.
remember the birthdays.
Yeah,
I
you can remember
that shit.
those birthdays.
Right. I can remember all that shit. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I feel like I've had more I for some reason none of them are. The problem I'm having right now is I know I've run or been in games on my birthday.
Yeah.
I just can't remember specifically what they are. We've played in so many fucking games. I feel like we'd all have to like
honestly-
talk ourselves, walk back through all of it in order to remember. Like,
It's a composite history.
mhm.
I
It
I
really
know the
is.
ones I've had have always someone got super mad. So
Yeah.
I remember them.
You remember them? A knife to the heart, a scar that will never heal.
Yeah. Something always pissed someone off the next day. For the ones I had, I hosted.
That fucking sucks. I'm sorry.
I mostly DM'd those too.
yeah.
Yep. These are great. Yeah.
But yeah, fucking birthdays, man.
But like, when you're, so you're saying, you can't think of anything to, like, if someone asks you if you want something, because there's only so many Lamborghinis you can have.
Right. I've already got them all. I got the whole set.
Yeah.
The Roy G. Biv Lamborghinis.
Because if you want something, you're just going to get it, whether you need it or not.
feel like
How
I
many
need to
credit
be
cards you
called out
need?
like that.
How many credit cards you need?
Whoa, calm down.
Me?
Stop looking at me like that.
What'd I say?
No, I mean, I think that's I think partially that is kind of a bad habit I have too.
That's like a human condition.
It
right
is a
there.
human conditioning. The
It's
consumer.
weird that you'd be like, I have the problem of the human condition. You're like, what is everybody else then? Automatons?
Right. No. I'm sure everyone has that
That's
problem.
like the
but it's like
the whole argument or the stupid internet thing that only lives on the internet, which is introvert extrovert.
oh yeah.
Which is introverts is have the galaxy in your brain. Extroverts have shit in their brains.
Yeah.
That's how the whole argument always goes.
Extroverts have shit in their brains.
Yeah.
That's how it's always the memes.
Well, I've never seen that.
It's
What does
always
that
just
mean?
like, extroverts when they talk in a conversation, it's that's them. But me in my head, I'm being quiet.
Wait,
It's this galaxy.
wait. So are you saying introvert, galaxy brain,
Yeah.
shit comes out of mouth?
No,
Extrovert, shit in brain, galaxy comes out of mouth.
No,
I
no.
like that.
No, it's
Yep.
usually
no.
a-
That actually makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
when you put it that way.
I guess they would agree with that kind of, but it's mostly just like extroverts are all dumbasses, and then introverts
Right.
are all
Are
secret
all-
geniuses,
right.
but they
yeah.
can't talk to anyone.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
So I guess it'd be true.
no. Yeah. I can. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, whenever you're saying like, "Oh, everyone is either this or this," it just blows up in your face.
Oh no.
That what timestamp is that? I what? I don't know about that one, friend. 21:30.
I always get censored by Jimmy.
I love how off guard that caught us too.
I feel like I'm the most censored.
You are. You still are. You don't feel like it. You objectively are.
I'm more subtle than you
remind
think.
You're
subtle.
You're censored. You're censored not because of you saying like just constant cuss words. You're censored because of your referential problem.
Yeah, it's the content of your speech that is the issue.
Hey man,
Now wait a minute.
There's no what?
Uh-oh.
Oh my fucking god!
perfect. It's all doing the exact same thing I always do.
Yeah. Oh man, shit. Like, I mean, that's the other thing is trying to think back through all this too. I've been thinking about this a lot recently. How it's like, I feel like, so many. I feel like it's like, oh, it's been forever, but at the same time, I'm about to be 27. And then on the other hand, it's like, oh, time has gone so fast. But then you look back and talk through all the fucking things we've done just together, let alone on our own. And it's just like, fuck, man. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you're going much quicker
I
than
think
us.
we've done 1,000 games.
1,000 games.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind
Oh.
of hard. Hours wise, obviously, we passed that a long time ago.
I feel.
Jimmy would be though.
Jimmy might.
No.
You're doing like 40 games a month now.
Well, I'm doing a lot of games every month now, but like.
You'd be the higher than us.
No. I would say
Much
that.
higher.
If we were talking about like, I'd say we've all probably been in about the same amount of games between things we've played in and run, because we've played a lot of stuff together. We've also done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but
separately.
lately you've been running like a whole bunch of games.
Yeah,
a month.
like past couple months. That's not like.
Oh, okay.
That's like I will say I've put like probably 50, 60, if not more, games in my belt this year. This
Yeah,
year and last year have been
Wow,
crazy
gee whiz.
years.
Yeah,
It's been
well,
nuts.
one shots, right?
A lot of them are one shots.
Yeah,
Burning
yeah.
Wheel, Delta Green.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I would say that if we're gonna like even it out between us,
Yeah.
I don't think 1,000 sessions, but I would say absolutely a couple hundred.
Yeah,
I think 300.
I'm thinking
sounds a
300.
little
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
Thinking
Yeah,
through it.
I'm thinking 300. I'm thinking this is Sparta.
Because even
300.
There's so many
mean,
gaps. you know?
campaigns, the campaigns that I've run have never been super long. But the thing is, we've run multiple campaigns at once, and then some campaigns we do just kind of have a free form, just let it run.
Yeah.
There's
Om.
some
Om
people
was really long.
that do like
Almost super
life
long.
games.
That's the one long game that I wasn't in Om.
No.
I was in like maybe 2 sessions.
Yeah.
I think that was around the time that I was taking a break, at least, or I think we all like
Probably.
slowed down a little bit. Oh, or Never mind. Never mind. I remember why I wasn't in that game.
Yeah.
The
we
dark
remember.
times.
I think it was.
Oh Christ.
You took a break. You took a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did take a break. But Ravenloft, absolutely. Planescape, absolutely. Blue Mountain,
Yeah.
Strato Zero.
Yeah.
Yep. All that shit.
Because hours we could say over 1,000.
I would say hours total, probably over
Pretty
1,000.
Yeah,
easy.
I wish I had a Steam, a Steam hour count.
Oh, 100%. I wish too.
2,000 or something.
I wish I used to have this giant list of all the games I've ever been in or run, and I lost it at some point. It might be archived somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
but I wish
you
I had
did,
that
I
too.
think.
I wish I could just have a comprehensive tabletop role playing history in front of me. But I would say 300 like we have been in probably in 300 total sessions.
Yeah.
I'd say that's a
I would
comfortable
say
number.
that. Yeah, games.
Average of 4 hours per session, which is not true because we used to play a lot longer, but per how role-playing games typically work, typically 4.
Yeah.
We're already
Yeah.
looking at like 1,200 hours at least of tabletop role-playing.
I would say so.
So each of us.
Yeah,
So,
the 24-hour
yeah.
games we used to do.
so yeah, 1,000 hours, absolutely. We've crushed
think
that.
it's easy,
We've
yeah.
crushed that, yeah. Which is crazy to put numbers on that, to put a metric
Well, it's funny
to
because
that.
the whole 10,000-hour thing. So that
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know how you get that point. You
Oh,
know,
because 10,000 hours you're a master.
yeah.
Honestly, we probably are at the 10,000 hours because of all the time we spend not only prepping, but just even thinking about it or consuming media on it. Because,
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
role
I don't
playing-
think we're at the 10,000, but
No.
when you add that in, there's a lot of time.
I role-playing games fucking live rent-free in my goddamn head. So, like,
Right.
Yeah.
pretty much every day I'm awake.
Yeah,
There's like
do
at least
do
2
we
hours.
add Pathfinder character building hours to
Oh,
that?
yes. Fuck.
Never mind, we're at 700.
We're at 700,000.
For you guys, yeah. I never put any time in this.
Matt,
No,
you've never
I-
built a character in your life. You,
Whoa!
you get the stats down, and you look at them, you put a name, and you say, this is who they are.
Pretty much.
And then we tell you what they get when they level up,
Yep.
and instead you tell us what the character does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a single one of your character sheets that I agree with.
Good. That's the point.
I remember looking at your character sheet for. Do you remember towards the end of Ravenloft when he showed us his sheet? We're like, "You're level 6."
It's like it was
What
like
is-
a
what?
big
Like-
session for a forced PvP between two players, and it's
Yeah.
like your character really matters. Let's whip out their sheets. Matt, where's your HP?
Yeah, I have 30 hit points.
Never
you
needed
do
it.
not have 30 hit points.
Never needed it.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Never needed it.
He-
Always talk
he
myself out
plays-
of it.
There is that maxim that the answers are not on your sheet. You know what I mean? You should be able to.
I'm
turn
the
your sheet over
embodiment
and
of
play the
that.
game. He is the embodiment
He
of
is
that.
a master of it.
I'm
He
the embodiment
willfully
of.
ignores the character.
Yeah, pretty much. It's annoying. Numbers are annoying.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they are
Step back,
necessary
step back.
too. I think mostly. What did you think about Delta Green's numbers? That's actually something I was thinking.
Never
about.
played. I
you
wasn't
not
there
play?
last
Oh,
week.
you
Yeah, he wasn't
weren't.
there. I was there. It was awesome.
Yeah, you were there. That
Really
was a
liked
tight
it.
game.
The one day I
Lake
take a
Equation.
vacation.
That
I'm not
was the
there.
first. We ran that game for 6.5 hours.
Yeah,
That's the
Wow.
first time I've done that in a while.
When did Teeman show up?
There's about 4. We played till
We
about
played
the
till,
usual 10.
Yeah.
Do you start with Teeman? Or was that 2 hours in?
No, we started
everyone
with
was
it.
there. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. He was there for 6?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was tight.
Wow.
It was tight.
it was really good.
Things were getting a little touchy towards the end just because I was trying to like. I felt the pressure because I was like, we gotta go. I'm like trying to push things
Yeah.
along. That game's a little hard to push along because it's like an investigative game, but it was successful. It rocked.
Yeah, no,
The
it's
Lake
good.
Equation equation. I'm gonna be doing it again. Like I'm gonna be doing more Delta Green.
Next week. Nah. Done. We're done here. Never play this game.
Man, I am. That reputation haunts me to this fucking.
It does
day.
haunt you.
It will never stop.
It's like a ghost.
It is like a ghost.
Or it'll be Delta Red.
Delta Red. Patrick has
Red.
been saying this thing. I need to find it.
Delta Chartreuse.
Delta Chartreuse. He was saying, oh, God damn it, where's his
I want
fucking...
to play it. It's just the 1 week I ever do anything.
Delta Green, do you mean changing a photon with an average wavelength of 500 nanometers over time? So that's just literally the fucking name of the game now. Super small text.
Yeah.
I'll run more of that. Of
Okay.
what he said.
Okay.
Look,
Okay.
whenever I take a break from Delta Green, it's gonna be Burning Wheel. I'm gonna be going back to Burning Wheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because
Okay.
you can't keep me away from that shit for too long.
Yeah. So then, right now, when you're doing your one shots, are you just doing like, hey, I feel like it's like a Monday night kind of thing you're doing?
Every Monday, because I have games Mondays, Tuesdays. Mondays always, Tuesdays kind of alternate. I mean, it depends. Like it depends on what we do. But lately, I've been running Delta Green in all of them. So this past month has been a lot of Delta Green. And then that one that I ran.
So
over the
you
Thursday
rolling
slot.
the investigation? Like, what are they investigating, or you have an idea every time?
Delta Green has a lot of operations. Like there's a lot of scenario support.
Oh, okay.
And then on top of that, there is I find it really easy to improvise because it's really like in my wheelhouse when it comes like the supernatural modern horror type shit.
Yeah.
And there's actually there's an intelligence gathering technique where it's like it's this like association grid, like a matrix that you make.
Huh.
And I found that not only is it a good tool for like taking notes at the table, like if you're doing an investigative game, but I've improvised a couple of these sessions, and I've improvised them by like turning to a random page in the handler's guide, finding a supernatural threat, maybe Googling some stuff based on the idea it gives me, and then just filling out the matrix myself, sitting down at the table with the full matrix. All the players get blank ones, and then I just fucking go, and then I change it or add to it as I need to. It's been tight. Like I've had that reference I've been making too, like with the fucking. So you know how you have the skills that you assign during character creation?
Yeah.
Well, not only now is there a mobile-friendly version of the reference, so you're not zooming in and out of a PDF, but all the skills you assign have checkboxes. So as you sign them, you press the checkboxes,
Oh,
and then
nice.
they like check and shit.
That's really good.
I've been going ham on this shit. It's been my obsession, coming right off the Burning Wheel obsession, and the Pathfinder obsession.
Because it's a heavy role play game.
It's not. It's really rules light. It's really simple.
Oh, okay.
It's very
role
simple.
play. That's what I was saying, because that makes it more role play.
It's heavy investigation.
Yeah.
I'd say it is more.
I'd say.
Yeah. So you're really into the. I guess you've always been to those heavy role play games.
I think where I'm starting to land on role playing games is I like it when they're like war games. It's less that, and this applies to Burning Wheel too because of how meta of a game it is. It's less like, oh, I'm here to do some acting, to be my character, to role play. It's literally like you are presented with a problem. Your character represents your avatar at the table, and you have some resources and stuff. You are here to solve the problem. So it's like, rarely in Delta Green has it been like, instead of it role-playing as in I'm actually inhabiting this character, it's role-playing as in thinking, what would I do with these resources in this situation if I were this person? So these investigations, while we're talking around the table, nobody's like in character, but everybody's really invested about thinking about like, you know, what skills do my guys have? What evidence do we have? How do we want to approach this situation? And I find that like really compelling. And Delta Green does that really well.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that, but
No, it makes sense. Yeah, just like the games where I guess the direction's kind of inevitable.
no, I mean it's I like it where it's like you're approaching it like a problem to solve instead of a story to tell. When I'm running, because playing, I mean, I play in plenty of games.
I mean,
where
I
stories
sort
at the
of
forefront, but
do that too, but I just overlay it first with another layer of story. I have a problem that is in a story that all the NPCs might not even be aware of at the time.
Yeah.
And then as the game, skips along, it'll hit those major points of those problems, and that's kind of where it just shunts it like ahead. But
and I've definitely picked up some of those theatrics from you
oh yeah,
because during that Delta Green session,
That was
the
a-
ambience, the lighting, I have a
You
whole
did some
procedure.
great
around-
character work.
Case
I
talked
did
about
some
that.
I did voices.
Yeah.
I actually did do some. I didn't like make voices, but I like spoke with an inflection or an emotion, and I haven't done that in fucking forever.
No, that was a great character.
That was a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
have a hard time doing that, the voices thing.
It is hard, and I don't think it's. I think that's what's really cool about. I mean that's usually where I can't help but compare myself to you because you're the GM I've played under the most, and you're the person I've worked with the most, and it's like, as far as I'm concerned, the story and the theatrics of it and the presentation of it and all that, that's your fucking wheelhouse. I can't even come close in that regard. I can pick up some bits and pieces.
It's a house with one wheel and it's wearing out. It's wearing thin.
Yeah. Well, you just said you overlay it over. Like, there is some, like, fundamental...
Oh, yeah.
You
just keep put up enough paper mache and no one's going to know a wheel's in there.
Right.
Yeah, make your
Right.
speakers loud enough so we can't talk.
Look, at the end of the day, all you got to do... I don't know if I mentioned this in another role-playing, another podcast, but the guy who wrote Into the Odd. He says, like, your duties as a GM are to present information... give information, present choices, show consequence. Yeah. So it's literally all about player agency, right? So you literally give players all the information they need to make an informed choice, let players make choices that are interesting and compelling, and then you show in the world what happens because of their actions. As long as you follow that, as long as that mechanism is the thing that is rolling everything through, you can do whatever the fuck else you want. You can keep throwing paper mache under that fucking building paper mache bridges and ramps under that one wheel, and it's fine because it's tried and true. It's gonna keep fucking going.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think all good RPGs. Based on that, I think that's a really, really succinct way to describe like all RPGs are that. Regardless of what you end up actually doing with it, if you do those three things, you're like fucking gold. You know what I mean?
just remembered the friend who just DM'd recently in the People for Alabama.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Alabama.
and how he has this whole story, and he's like, oh, I got this really good story. And then they go full murder hobo.
Oh, yeah, immediately.
Oh, no.
Just, like sad murder hobo where he's like, I got all the story, I'm ready to go. And then...
Just starts killing people.
They just
setting
start
stuff
killing,
on fire.
making no sense.
So he's doing cleanup most of the session.
Fuck. So wait, I mean, obviously we don't want to drop names or anything like that, but like, so were all the players from Alabama?
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
online game.
Oh, there's your
thing.
fucking problem.
No.
That's what we kind of alluded to. Yeah. Yeah,
It's like, of course they're all gonna be murder hobos. They're murder hobos in real life.
Yeah, but
that's what they
it
do.
was like-
They're fucking, killing possums and eating them raw, and building outhouse trailer combos and in the wilderness and living in those. It's like,
it's just funny because it's just like, yeah, it's been a long time, and I finally DM, and he's just like, oh man, how'd it go? And he's like, oh, he's just describing just arsonist murder hobos. And it was just like, oh, dude, that sucks. Because, like, how do you fix that other than being awkward and being like, hey, can you play the game?
yeah. No, that's how you do it.
Yeah, yeah.
It drives me crazy how, like, you see threads like this all the time on, like, Reddit or whatever, where people are like, oh, my God, like, how do I solve this? I've tried to do these things in-game. It's like, you be an adult. You look them in the eyes and say, you need to fucking calm down, or don't do that, or get out of my table. Leave my house,
Yeah. And then, what was it? Oh, we have another friend who was doing, he was on the Discord, but he was building something for like like Cloud9. They have the esports gaming have their own D&D group.
Oh, really?
Wait, what?
Well, teaming, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's building a character, and it's a fantasy realm where you can only be human. And
hell yeah, I like it already.
You can like multi-class. I think only if you can like convince them, which is fine. But it's just like,
is there MLG D&D? Is that what you're describing right now?
yeah, but no, it's just literally like fans of an esports have a D&D group.
That's a niche within a niche. That's like a group within a group.
So their characters are already like a league.
I'm just picturing what MLG D&D would competitive D&D.
It's not competitive. It's just fans of competitive.
You think there's people doing a weekly League of Legends role playing game?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
what they're basically
terrifies me that the answer is I can't with 100% certainty say no.
Yeah, right?
They kind of are doing that, but I mean their character's inspired, they're not supposed to be direct.
Yeah.
DCC kind of does that. Like they do have DCC tournaments and stuff. They have tournament modules and because tournaments used to be a thing in old school D&D. There were tournaments.
Yeah, but a DM could just kill you.
Thing. Well, no,
because it had to be module based.
Well,
Yeah.
usually a bunch of the judges will come together and be like, here's a scenario we're running, here's kind of what we want to do and whatever. And keep in mind, too, that OD&D worked a lot more like a fucking war game, and there was
Right.
very set procedures for how you did stuff,
Yeah.
so it made more sense. And DCC, it's just fucking gonzo
Random.
crazy
Yeah.
fucking bullshit. So that's also, it's also like, you can make it a tournament because it's like, I don't fucking know, let's just
I just
go.
can't imagine
Just
that.
imagine, and here's the champion from last year. He's been color sprayed instantly in the first round, and
Yeah.
3 of his 4 characters are dead.
Yeah.
This is a newbie who has no idea what he's doing, and so far everything he's completely alive.
Everything's
'Cause he's
coming up
he's
roses.
so
All
far
4 are
afraid to
alive.
Speak up.
Yeah.
This
He
seems
figured-
like a grand strategy.
He figures as long as the judge doesn't look at him, he's fine.
Yeah. That just seems like almost like a weird tag team like brawl of like philosophers. Because you're like, yeah, I won a role playing game tournament. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
But like you're saying,
my
it's a war game
My
thing.
pretend was better than your
yeah,
pretend.
like that's how you're like,
Yeah.
like yeah. Some guys like, yo, yeah, you know what I won? What are all these trophies over there?
Arneson, the guy who wrote D&D with Gygax,
Yeah.
like one of the OG guys.
Sure.
The way that he ran Blackmore and the way that he ran it until his death is literally, I forget what somebody codified the system, quote unquote. Literally what it is, it's like, we are sharing this imagined world, and if at any point we reach a juncture where your pretend doesn't match my pretend, then we roll dice about it, and the higher roll wins. And that's it. That's role playing. So
Okay.
when you think about it,
I
that's
guess
also
I'd have to see it in practice.
I mean, that's kind of just what we did at lunch.
yeah.
Tables instead of we just
And
not
it
enough
worked.
time to do a game, so we just had a D20.
And obviously as you get
Or rolled
like
higher.
that works for high school lunch. That shit works. Everybody has a D20. We're role playing. We have a disagreement that we can't get over. Then we say, all right, higher roll wins, and then you roll, and then that's it, and then you move on.
Yeah, the limitations for that game which was very confusing to me because I started playing and I'm like, I'm gonna make just a normal kind of cleric character, and then everyone else was like, okay, so yeah, I'm the god of all robotics, and I just turn into a machine, and it's like, okay, yeah, so everyone can just describe whatever they want to do basically,
Right.
until there's an opposing force, and then it's a D20.
Right. that's another underpinning structure. That's what role playing like is. And the thing is it's not just that. There you have like these I swear I've talked about this before, but it's like you have this thing too where it's like, this guy's like, oh, crazy monster robot thing, but then it's like you still have the purview as the table to be like, no, that doesn't make sense for the thing that we're playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, you have the ability to like keep a cohesive narrative and world and shit like that in there. But I mean, DCC, I've seen how a DCT tournament works. I have a tournament module, and it works. It works really well. It works like it used to. But especially on the surface, it sounds like a fucking mess. But that's what MLG... What's funny is they're coming out with X-Crawl. That was originally a Pathfinder thing where dungeon crawling in a fantasy world is a sport.
Uh-huh.
So they set up dungeons, and there's like orc like broadcasters, and you have sponsors, and you
that's
go and
cool.
crawl the dungeon as an extreme sport.
That's
Okay.
pretty badass.
It's so badass. So you do tournaments of that, and it literally would look and feel like D&D esports.
Wow.
Because the whole party would all have the same uniforms.
Yeah, that'd be really
know,
fun.
It would look like fucking Wipeout. Like
yeah, I think that'd be good.
it'd be kick
Yeah,
ass.
it's
Yeah.
just D&D Takeshi's Castle.
Mhm.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, you go in the next room. There's a spinning rod. How are you gonna get across?
Yeah, dungeons made
Yeah.
for esports compared to like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it would be Tomahawk is similar. I guess.
Orc's like,
Tomahawk's
up next
esports.
we have Farah the cleric. She was a baker before coming here. This is
Yeah.
her third adventure.
She's
and
doing stretches. It's showing like how many times she's been sacked, which means literally being put in a sack and like taken off
Yeah.
somewhere. Like
Death saves.
And
kinda
her mother and brother are in the stands.
yeah,
scarred, heavily scarred.
yeah. They've seen her die so many times.
Yeah, well, I'm saying
Every time
they've
they
done
play
the games
Loxu
too,
bats,
so
they
they're
bring her
heavily,
back.
They're heavily scarred.
Yeah.
They've also done the games. It's just like
Oh, I see.
everyone around, all the veterans are all heavily scarred.
Yeah, I fucking like that.
Yeah, that'd be a bleak world.
It would be. I get. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a world in which a blood sport is that popular.
Unless
so,
it's not. But I mean, how would you not make it blood sport? Like
It'd be
there's
like
the
Wipeout.
beholder, and you're evaporating.
it'd be like Wipeout. That game.
Just-
You remember
just
that game
brutal.
show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no wipeout. Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be like Wipeout, to where it's like, yeah, you get hit in the face really hard, but it's by like something with like 3 feet of padding, and you get knocked into some water. You know what I mean?
But then
Like,
it wouldn't be because you get hit by like a giant spike machine.
Yeah.
spike
Because it's
machine,
it's a D&D realm. Why would they pad it out?
yeah, it's fucking some Viet Cong like just coming out
That's
of the
what I'm
trees,
saying.
like those. What are those? The boards that they come around, and it's just a board of spikes.
Yeah.
and it just fucks your shit up.
That's
yeah.
what my assumption would be. Because then you
Yeah,
just
but,
be
like,
playing
kid-friendly.
Wipe Out the RPG.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think it's probably not going to be Wipe Out the RPG.
Why not?
I don't know.
Why
I
not
guess
have
it
Wipeout
could
the
be.
RPG.
I just thought it'd be brutal. I assume if you have a whole dungeon that's supposed to meat grinder people, it'd probably be pretty brutal.
I think it would actually be fun to have an X crawl game or something like that that's like intentionally like non-lethal, but like so your hit points represent how much energy you have left.
Yeah,
if you like
that'd
get
be
knocked
good.
out, then you have to start
Well,
back at the beginning.
I was wanting to do that Luchador Geist game. Because
Yeah.
in a sense with that, lethality is still non-lethal. Because if you're a Geist character, then you can't permanently die.
Haven't we talked about that before? Just being like, not on the podcast, but we've talked about that. It just ends up being Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it definitely would be. It's good.
4
good.
episodes of talking on the ring, and then
Well,
fighting.
usually-
Well, no, how I said it is
the
basically,
ring is combat.
Yeah.
It's the ring's combat, but besides that, you have these beefy dudes going around doing regular investigative Scooby-Doo work.
yeah,
Yeah. So then when it gets to that point, they go in the ring.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Didn't we at one point? I think that idea came about when you looked up that wrestling Powered by the Apocalypse game.
Is this when I found that when I was looking for different specific NPCs.
Right.
Yeah, I've been ruminating on the idea for. a
So
bit.
what if it's Wipe Out the RPG, but then it's like Call of Cthulhu themes? So it just starts getting weirder and weirder the more they get wiped out.
So it's non-lethal because you're just insane by the end.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
mental damage.
Yeah.
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 And that can be fixed with just some normal therapy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, maybe.
Eventually, eventually, maybe.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
sport.
You
It's
say it like therapy
sport
is a science
mandated
on
therapy.
art. Like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, even therapy is an art. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah, you're not gonna be harmed. We're gonna put you in this padded room, and we're gonna put you in a jacket so you can't,
orcs that are
Get
in
out.
this
Find a way to
dungeon.
get out.
Afterwards, you'll be just taken into the harpy room, and then you'll feel all happy and feathery after leaving there.
Yeah. Feathery. The heart
And hungry.
Do you have sex with the harpies?
That is not what I was implying,
I
Jimmy.
had no idea what you were implying.
Harpies sing. They don't have sex.
Oh,
I thought they eat you.
Yeah,
I'm just
they
remembering the
usually
fucking.
eat you.
Do you remember
Yeah.
the 3rd edition monster manual?
Oh yeah.
The fucking
I know
harpy.
the harpy.
With the saggy fucking tits.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Pretty brutal.
I remember
Harpies are
that.
always brutal.
I remember because I was like really young and I loved that book. I'm like, those are boobies. Like, I'm like, oh no. Well, not so much. Because I'm gay. But
Yeah, but ho ho. Yeah, but she was an owl
Ho, ho, ho.
harpy. So hoo hoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like owl.
I'm mad. I didn't think. No.
did the
There's
D-
not other bird types of harpies. There's not going to be seagull harpies.
Did the 3rd edition harpy turn me gay?
Did
Was that the
they
turning
say-
point? Oh.
How many books do they have? Of 3rd edition.
3rd edition? A fuckload. I was just talking about
No, but
that.
monster manual stuff.
You remember all that?
Lots.
5.
That's-
I
6.
figured.
They had 6 official
I
monster
figured
manuals.
they had a lot. Yeah.
I would. We were talking about this about nostalgia for 3rd edition last time. I would kill to have a full, complete set of all the 3rd edition stuff.
Do
Yeah.
it.
That'd be cool as hell.
Do it.
Kill?
What?
What?
Kill?
I don't even know who I'd kill to get that.
No, I
Yeah,
said
that's what he was
get
saying.
it.
That's
I
what he was
didn't.
saying
I
to
said
do.
do it, not
He was
kill.
saying he was going to kill to get it, and you just supported. You just
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, because he said kill to get it. I
Yeah.
just said get it.
I'm not censoring that out. You're going to be an accessory to
It's
premeditated
the
murder.
Steve Harvey. It's the Steve Harvey Family Feud. Kill. Kill.
Kill!
When you're out late at night and you need another hit.
Ding! Yeah!
Yeah, it's I thought that's where you're going with it.
No, that's pretty funny.
Kill.
Though.
Because, like, yeah, third edition had what, like 100,000 books or something? It was a lot.
It was a fuckload.
Like
I mean, that's one of the
50
reasons
books.
why I was talking about selling books earlier and regretting it. I hope I don't this time because I'm about to send out box 3 to Noble Knight Games, and they're like giving me cash for it and stuff. But it's like PDFs, man.
Yeah.
Like I can't. Even if I were to somehow get all the third edition books right, that'd be so fucking expensive. Where would I put it? What would happen when I move at some point? You know what I mean? I'm keeping them limited editions though. The books that you need, and then the nice ones, and then the rare ones.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
just
some
staying.
people get to a point where you get a house and then they should put it in there and they move and then they regret moving all their books.
Yeah, exactly.
But then
I fucking regret moving books every single time I do it, and I've been getting rid of a lot of them.
Have you?
But there's some
I guess
there's
you've had
some
more than
I just will not and cannot get rid of.
I remember just your old room in college. You didn't have that many.
Yeah, because it was a dorm room. All of my other books were at home still.
Oh, okay. I never saw your full collection, but I was just like, well, he's only had like 20 books. He keeps selling them. But then you're like, 40 books. I'm like, where do these come from?
Well, I also keep selling them to buy more.
Yeah.
That's the other problem. Is I keep just turning them in to get more.
That's like I knew someone who was just like, yeah, I like thrift stores because I constantly go to the thrift store and buy, and then I return the stuff at the thrift store. And it's like, how do you're not saving money? You're still buying stuff from the thrift store.
Yeah, but you're saving space. And you're contributing to the culture. You're giving back to the community. You're putting the books back out in the bookshare.
But I mean, I guess it's more like you're still a consumer. I think it was more like, yeah, I don't get Gucci, but I do go to thrift store every Saturday when it's half off every single week,
and get Gucci.
and I still have too much stuff, and I still give it all back, and then I get more.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have, man.
That's what I'm saying, because it's like you go to the thrift store and you think you're better, but you also just have more stuff. I don't know.
Man.
Just to skip back, 1977's animated The Hobbit. Can anyone guess what the rating is?
PG.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
He
not
was
the,
wrong.
Not the rating, not the.
Well, like
I'm
Rotten
talking about the
Tomatoes?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
G?
the Rotten Tomatoes.
No, what was it? G?
I would say like 40.
Ooh, no, higher,
60%.
higher.
No
It's
way.
nostalgic.
70?
So it's nostalgic. 80%.
69. And that search took 0.96 seconds to complete.
Whoa.
Oh, the Google.
It's
thing.
the number.
Yeah.
The number's everywhere, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Some numerology shit. 69. Why
How long
so
was that movie?
high?
It felt like
It's a good
4.
movie.
How long
It's
is
not-
it?
It's not 69 good.
It's good, yeah.
It's not movie critic
Nostalgic
69%.
69.
It's nostalgia critic 69%.
It's well, that's what I'm saying. No. Yeah, but it's nostalgic, which is why it had such a high rating because everyone remembers it, so they rated it high.
What about what's the audience rating?
I have no idea. I didn't
Probably
think about
higher.
Well, fucking go back.
it. 52% for the Lord of the Rings animated.
Go back, man.
For the critics?
The other one. No, Lord of the
That
Rings.
makes more sense.
Lord of the Rings, though.
What, Lord of the Rings?
He
like,
didn't say
the
Hobbit. He said Lord of the
movie?
Rings animation.
Well, Lord of the Rings animated, he said it was like a 50-something.
Yeah,
Oh.
52. 65% audience for The Hobbit.
Interesting.
How long was it
Interesting.
again? 2 hours? 2.5? I don't
It was not that long.
remember. It felt like 6
Yeah.
hours.
It was like, I think each movie was like a little over an hour, especially considering the time
An hour and
period.
18 minutes.
Yeah.
Was they animated?
They were animated too. A lot of it was rotoscope too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they felt forever.
Wow, Return of the King also is rated pretty high.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
What's the
but not by the audience. Yep, I thought so.
Oh,
That
what?
movie's a mess.
Which one?
The animated The Return of the King.
Yeah.
Because it starts
Yeah.
off and they're like, we're all having dinner. It's all over. Now let's talk about what happened. And it's like,
It's
Oh.
yeah,
so
it's
weird.
really
Why?
fucking
That's-
weird.
That's a weird. I think it's because at the time
it's
movie
because
did
there was
it.
no way they did Lord of the Rings and they're like, we can't do the middle. And we just got we could Return of the King. Just wrap it up. They're talking about how it was done. And then we showed the sequences of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because Lord of the Rings, I think that was mostly just the Fellowship.
It was they really had to kind of skirt over the two towers.
Yeah.
They really just kind of
Skirt.
barreled past that. Yeah, scoot. They really just
I don't remember
just
the
drove.
other stuff except the Hobbits.
Pinocchio in Outer Space.
The fuck is that?
40%.
That's a lot better than I thought the rating would be for a movie called Pinocchio in Space or whatever.
1965.
Damn.
Wow.
Has that movie with
You know
Nick
what?
Cage come out yet?
Oh,
one where he
Daredevil
kills
and
himself?
Massive Talent. We keep mentioning that like in every episode, and it still hasn't yet.
Okay.
We need to have. What if we did an
It
episode
says
where we just watched the
2021.
movie?
Oh wait, nope. Now it says 2022.
Fuck.
April.
Oh, that's not too far. What if we did an episode where we literally just like we watch it and we live do it, and so it's like turn on the fucking movie at the same time we start the podcast, and then we just
That's new. I've never heard of that.
yeah.
Wow.
It's not like Mystery Science Theater 3000 came back from the dead to keep beating that.
Wait,
dead
so we'd
horse.
watch it, so you want us to commentate?
They're
the
all
whole
still
time?
alive.
Yeah, but there has beens. They're dead in
No, they're
a
not.
different way.
No, they do riff tracks.
They still do it.
Riff tracks?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like a general talk of like what the genre is. Are
I
you
think
saying
No,
is
riff tracks
like
specifically. They went on to do riff tracks of most major movies throughout the 2000s up to 2010s. They're still doing stuff.
But then they brought
Yeah,
back
I-
MS3TK.
yeah,
didn't
they did, but they're like the original.
Which I love MS3TK.
A lot of the
I'm
original guys do riff
fucking
tracks,
around.
I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Is it new guys?
No, it's usually the I forget which guy it was. 'Cause
I thought 3000, the new one, was a new guy, but I didn't see any.
I don't know. I like MS. It's letters
T3K.
and number in there, but
Mr.
yeah, number in there. But I don't know enough about like the background around it or anything like that. to
I don't know
really-
either. It was just a weird time in like early 2000s, 90s where we had Takashi's Castle.
Tekashi 6ix9ine. We had him on.
No, Takashi's Castle, which was the extreme
yeah, it's the exact same guys: Mike Nelson, Bill Corbett, and Kevin Murphy
for the new one.
for riff tracks.
Oh,
What
So,
about Mystery Theater 3000?
Mysteries. Oh, the new ones. That's one like Patton Oswalt and stuff. I think they're.
Oh,
all
so for
those
sure
new.
different.
what about the
Yeah.
one that Brad Neely did for the Harry Potter movies? We should watch that one. I haven't seen that. I have it, but I haven't actually.
Oh, I
done
don't
it.
know what that is. Yeah.
It's like Wizards Dear Reader or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that.
no, I've watched that so many times. Oh my god,
That makes sense.
That
yeah.
is, it's pretty genius.
Is it pretty genius? I've heard it's fucking genius. I miss China, Illinois a lot. That was a good cartoon.
Yeah.
I love Brad Neely's shit. I guess like I was gonna fucking say something. I'm trying to fucking think. Trying to think back to what I was gonna
Step back,
say.
man. He's trying to think.
Okay.
Step back, man.
You're crowding his space.
Hold me back. Hold me back. We were just talking about riff tracks and shit.
Okay.
I don't remember. It completely left my mind.
Just trying to help you
God
out.
damn it. It's whatever.
All right.
Um,
How's it going over there? How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you need time to think.
what's going on?
That's right. Okay, so
Now I really
So-
feel like I'm having a mental breakdown.
let's think openly, so that gives him time to think
Yeah.
quietly.
Yeah.
He'll do like the.
I'm done thinking.
He'll do
It's
the
not
galaxy
coming
brain.
back.
He'll do the galaxy
I'm
brain.
not. No.
We'll do the galaxy mouth.
There will be no
So-
extroverts, introverts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cheese puffs are really good, huh?
yeah.
Like not a lot of them. Usually makes you sick, but like one or two, pretty good. Third one, ooh, it's really dry now. You probably need something to drink.
I just had a friend who talked about using a cheese puff, the canisters that come with it, and then homebrewing kombucha.
Kombucha with cheese puffs
Kombucha
To
in a cheese
the
puff
jar.
container.
in the cheese
Yeah.
puff jar.
It's
Wow.
a plastic jar.
Yeah, but you can
I
tighten
thought you had
that
to
up.
use
Guess
glass
so.
and shit for that.
I don't think
You could use anything.
you could use it.
I guess. Yeah. I guess you can rot anything inside of any container.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really. you know?
anything can rot, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I never thought about making homemade kombucha, but he's talking about it yesterday.
Kombucha. I hate fucking kombucha.
Homemade though.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be having intercourse with it. It's meant to be drank.
I keep getting these yeast infections. I keep getting these UTIs, and I have no idea why. Maybe it's all of the kombucha I'm pouring down my dick hole.
I
with
had
a-
hard
with a
kombucha
Home Depot
yesterday.
funnel.
You had hard kombucha?
Yeah, it was
Spiked
6%.
kombucha.
Yeah.
6%?
I couldn't even tell.
Dog shit.
It tastes normal. I couldn't tell. It tasted, but I did feel it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
Those antioxidants are really working.
20 minutes in, I was like, "Oh, there it is."
Wow.
And then I
No,
had
no, it's
bread.
fine. I could drive a car. It's just the antioxidants.
I did.
That's you get pulled over. Oh, I'm sorry, I just drank a lot of kombucha.
A lot of kombucha. You're sitting in the driver's seat. He pulls up. You're like, he shines his light in. You're visibly sweating. Your gut is distended. You're like, bro. Oh, it's like,
You know what?
Sir, you can take me to jail, but I'm likely to shit the cell.
Well, it's
I'm
funny.
gonna-
What kind of night do you want to have?
If I There's several.
I'm getting my car or your car. That's up to you. That's the choice here.
There's several times I went to like the convenience store and came out and had kombucha early in the morning and almost threw up almost every time. Yeah.
It's not the kind of thing you want to just start the day with. Man.
Yeah, dude.
Start the day.
It's so.
You don't need
for
vinegar
some-
on your stomach.
Yeah,
No.
I would have it like the first thing and almost feel like throwing up.
That
immediately.
fucking sounds horrible.
And I did it for like a couple days in a row.
I've never.
I'm like, I'll drink
Wait,
it.
so you did it consecutively?
Yeah.
You didn't learn. It took you like 4 times to learn
I
your
don't know.
lesson.
This is how it works for him.
Yeah.
He'll take a week to learn a lesson, and then after
Alright.
it, he's learned it.
Step 1. Step 1, wake up. Step 2, drink a bottle of vinegar on an empty stomach. Oh, that didn't work. I guess I'll try again tomorrow.
It usually comes from, I'm gonna make a really weird decision that I'm gonna make a ton of 2 things that shouldn't probably go together.
So,
Oh, well, this is what I've got to eat for the next 3 days.
yeah. I don't waste food.
Oh, no. It's
Sometimes
like,
I do.
It's like
He would be the best chef because he's like, whatever food that I've made badly, I went the hard road on it.
Yeah.
You're only getting the best.
it reminds me, it's just Matt's life is just this scene in the lighthouse where they start mixing the kerosene and the honey.
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh man, all I've got to eat is this kerosene. Well, I hate
You know,
wasting food.
In the Dark Ages, we would have called you a scientist.
That's a
I mean, it's usually a mix of like, yeah, like cheese, meat, and then like various of like spices.
What is
Make no
what
sense.
is the combination that you most regret? What
That's
is the thing
hard.
that you
That's
did?
every week, man.
Yeah, it's all right.
Is your gut okay?
The one I
Do you need
most
to go to
regret
cleanse?
is whenever he cooked with fish oil.
Oh!
The whole house reeked like cat food. Because you're not supposed to burn it at a high temperature.
That's literally you're the guy at the office who puts fish in the fucking
I
microwave.
didn't know. I bought it and I was like, I want to try it.
So then you tried it and everyone came and was like, "What is that smell?
I literally
Please stop."
I came up the stairs and almost vomited on contact. And then he's over there cooking in it.
It was good.
I'm picturing him like
that
turning
was-
around and seeing you, and he's like crying, and he's like retching. And he's like, "I'm sorry, it's all I've got to eat."
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The thing is, it's not. It's not. He has plenty of other options at all times. It's just once he's chosen an option, he sticks with
You
it.
live within like walking distance of a grocery store. It's up a hill, but you still live within
It's
walking
busy
distance.
all the time.
He just believes that once you've made a decision, you should suffer its consequences.
Hey, I think that's honorable. I think that's you are a more honorable
It
person
depends
than I am.
though. If the food can't be microwaved, then I can't eat it.
Well, that's
Like
true.
just like in the weekend, I
yeah.
had a whole bunch of potatoes. Okay, I got potatoes. I just cooked them normally. They're the pea potatoes, the small ones.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I mixed it with not pancakes. What was it? Oh, I just picked. I got
How did that even come to your mind?
So-
How did that even occur to you?
it's happened. So potatoes,
Potatoes, yeah.
and then I found random cheese in the cheese drawer
Okay.
because it's
Whoa! Back the fuck up. For cheese drawer.
it's just
Yeah.
cheese.
It's a drawer
for
of
sandwiches.
cheese.
What?
Some of them looked old, so I figured I'd use them.
Make a lot of sandwiches, so we all have different types of cheese.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so
that makes sense.
yeah,
Continue
so
then.
I threw.
I don't keep my cheese in a fucking
So
drawer.
no,
but-
mommy found the cheese drawer.
So I found out. So you know how I get that like Italian mix,
Yeah.
where it's the two bolognas, or whatever it's called.
It's called a salami.
salami,
Capricorn.
the salami, the other salami, and the cheese.
Yeah.
that cheese
Like
does not work on
gabagool.
potatoes. So I put all the cheese because I didn't
No,
want it to go bad.
provolone isn't a potato
So
kind of
I
cheese.
put like all the
Yeah.
provolone I had, like 10 stacks.
It's a weak.
'Cause
it's a subtle cheese.
Yeah,
It is.
it's not good to heat it up. It was pretty.
No.
Hold on. So you took, in your words,
You took
10 stacks of provolone, you put them on a bunch of potatoes, and then nuked it?
in an oven, and then I got like half a sour cream thing, and put it in. That was too much sour cream.
That was too much.
And then I salted a good amount. But
These are little potatoes too, man.
that provolone, man.
Like I had to step back. I'm like, no, this plan makes sense for like a big baked potato, but you're using the tiny potatoes.
that provolone was nasty.
Do you remember when I worked at the gelato shop? I don't know if Emily was working there at the time, but do you remember the Parmesan cheese gelato?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'd never had it.
I had it the once, and I got really sick that night.
Wow.
I don't think it was the gelato. I think I was sick anyway. But the whole rest of the time I worked there and we were using that gelato, I couldn't even, I could smell it. I could smell the ice cream. I couldn't even, look at it. It was that. And you're talking about bad cheese experiences?
I've had a lot of that.
You had a lot of bad cheese experiences?
I got sick eating early on as a kid, a bunch of bubblegum ice cream. So it was the bubblegum ice cream that also had the real bubblegum in it.
Yeah.
I just ate it and swallowed the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
That's their fucking fault. These goddamn morons putting real bubblegum in ice cream. That's not your fault.
I liked it.
I mean, that was at the
Yeah.
time when there was the whole 7 years thing. It was constantly over and over told.
Oh, the bubblegum staying in your gut
Yeah,
thing?
I feel like when I was a
Yeah.
kid, it was every other week. It was oh, don't bubblegum.
Swallow your bubblegum. Yeah.
Don't swallow it. Oh yeah, because didn't I say it before? Didn't I tell you? I was doing this random thing on whatever TikTok or something, and the guy starts out and goes, "You know how we all live in a simulation, right?" And you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be
Right,
good."
yeah. Uh-huh.
And so
This is
he
gonna be good.
deductively discusses the idea that the way to get out of that, because every 7 years your cells change. So to him, every 7 years they give you a new clone or something of you in the simulation, a new you.
Yeah.
So you chew bubble gum because it stays in your stomach for 7 years, and they can't change you. They can't change you out because the bubble gum in your stomach.
So they were arguing to swallow bubblegum.
yeah.
So not
Too much.
So it's
He even says not too much. Don't do it. It'll hurt
right,
your
because it's
stomach.
unhealthy.
Yeah.
So your parents are your parents are hey, don't swallow bubblegum, it'll stay in your gut forever. And then this random dude is no, you should swallow bubblegum, but only a little, so that the people who run our simulation can't clone you.
Yeah. Yeah. He said, "Hey, just
They
once-
really think the
He just said
simulated
once-
bubble gum is going to
It's
stop
all a
them.
simulation.
Well, so here's his argument. He's like, bubble gum, it never stops chewing. Every other food you have, you could eat it and consume it, but bubble gum, you can chew it forever.
This sounds like a guy who's
Not
not
forever,
chewed enough
but-
of a piece of bubble gum.
He's
One
like,
of those
he didn't
chews
say
it for 5
flavor.
minutes, spits it out.
He didn't say flavor. He said, you know how you just chew it forever? Well, that proves that's one of the things that's out of the simulation. So you have to have bubble gum every 7 years.
So hold on. We live in a simulated world.
Yeah, that's the
completely
first
simulated
one.
head to toe. But they just can't get that bubble gum right.
Yeah.
So they give us real bubble gum. And that's
true.
That's his
You know, as much world building as I've done,
fuck?
That's
as
true.
much world building as I've done, I can see that as a really logical argument.
Dude, I part of what makes Delta Green so fun is I don't need world building. I just look up conspiracy theories.
yeah,
Conspiracy
Every other
theorists
day.
are the best fucking world builders out there.
Yeah.
It kicks ass. They just make all this dumb shit up, and
Yeah,
then
and
you're
then
like,
how's
perfect,
this?
thank you.
But how about this? Well, world building. But how about
Yeah.
this? But how about this? And it's, well,
How about I'm stealing that for a game?
yeah, yeah, gang.
I love, dude. There's this YouTuber Wendigoon. He kicks ass, and he's been going through this conspiracy theory iceberg. And I've gotten I've literally been watching through it because it's hours and hours and hours of him running down all these conspiracy theories. I've just been stealing shit for Delta Green. I've been that's cool. Let's write that down. That's cool. Let's write that down.
Yeah, yeah. So they're all well, it's an iceberg, so a lot of them are mainstream, and then he's gonna get to deep.
Oh
ones.
yeah, he's almost. I think he's finished now. I think he's done, and he's gonna stitch them all together into a 16-hour-long video.
Oh, it's about one conspiracy theory.
No, it's about all these different ones. It's an image. It's an
How do
iceberg
you
someone
finish
posted on Reddit.
conspiracy theories?
Well, he just talks about them. It's this image where it's it's an iceberg. It's the normal ones at top, the really terrible ones at the bottom, and then he's just for each one he's just describing. What
Oh,
it
so
means.
it's a stock image, not a stock image, but someone made this image,
Yeah.
and then he goes, "No, I'm just gonna make this my content."
Yeah.
This image.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he does
I'm
all
like,
the
how do
fucking
you
legwork. He
how
does
do you
all
do
the
all the
research. Yeah.
conspiracies? There's too many of them.
Yeah, that's why there's 16 hours of videos just on this alone that he's done on this one. He's probably going to do another iceberg eventually. It's fascinating.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So thank God for them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any content to run. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, you just watch Alex Jones.
Yeah, I could. I'm not gonna, but I could.
Yeah.
I think we're at time.
All right. Happy birthday, Casey.
Happy
Happy birthday, Casey.
Yeah.